Hey, good evening YouTube. Happy Tuesday. Ben Autism User here. If you're wondering, just still my routine, neighborhood walking, neighborhood running, especially right now in the evening and at night. Today I'd like to tell you about my experience about my autism again. And I got some 29 subscribers. Thank you very much for those of you who subscribe and who are watching. Thank you very much for subscribing and supporting me. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Anyways, I'd like to tell you about some facts about my autism. When I was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old, my parents knew it would be hard for my parents to raise me because of my autism, because when I was a toddler, before I was diagnosed with autism, I did have a normal toddlerhood. But by the time I was 2, it was difficult because of my autism. So what we did here is, before I demonstrate what I did at a toddler age at autism, I like to explain an example of a childhood that I certainly had before I was autistic. My first birthday party was at Glen Hall Park. Playing at the playground was my childhood at a toddler age on my first birthday back in July 1st, 1999, 20 years ago. I'm 21, and that was a real childhood. That was a normal childhood I had before I was diagnosed with autism. Later, what else I did was played in the snow and at the playground when I was 1 year old, before I was 2 when I was diagnosed with autism. So that I had a certain original childhood, but by the time I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2, it was difficult for me to have a normal childhood. So what my parents and I did to help me overcome my autism was have some adults and staff members and tutors, you could call them tutors, come over to there. Can you see better? There's a light up there. So when I was 2 years old, diagnosed with autism, it was difficult for me to have a normal childhood. But I had a normal childhood before I was 2 years old, diagnosed with autism. I had a normal one. So what we did when I was autistic at a toddler age is have my tutors and parents tutor me and show me what I should do with friends, encourage me to do something with friends, encourage me to play with train toys, car toys, play sports, get dressed on my own, learn communication skills. That's tutoring that I've learned from tutors. My tutors also taught me how to stick to routine. They taught me some expressions on the faces, like angry, sad, sleepy, or happy. They also taught me some verbal expressions, verbal communications, like crying, laughing, sneezing, or snoring when you sleep. That's what I learned when I was 2 years old and at a childhood age over 2 years old. So I had some tutoring from age 2 to 6 for 4 years, from 2000 through 2004, after I finished kindergarten in spring 2004. So anyways, if children with autism should learn how to overcome their autism by having their parents support them, including family members and tutors. And I had that happen to me before. I used to have tutors come over to my house to support me, taught me life skills at an early age, taught me routine, taught me how to play with toys like trains, cars, airplanes, balls, like play ball, or something like that. That's what I learned from my tutors when I was young, even before I moved into preschool at David Lubin. I used to have my tutors come to school with me from preschool through kindergarten to help me overcome challenges. It helped me accept the fact that I am autistic, but still overcome my autism is a possibility. What else my tutors taught me, for example, is details like, come with me. Well, I'm not, because I'm not on. They taught me what details are they, like, for example, it's a little hard to see, but you see my finger and my arm? Trying to point at the light. That's the light right there. They used to show me pictures, card pictures of certain details, certain objects, and they tell me what objects are they. Like, for example, it's a little hard to see, but you get the point. This is a car, a van, but there's some other objects and details of the car. Like, for example, they showed me what's on the car. Like, they've asked me, what's this? And I tell them it's a red light, but they tell me it's a tail light. So it's a tail light, for example. They ask me, what are those under the car? And those are tires. And what's that on the front of the car? They've asked me, what's this? And I call them lights. But they say headlights, so they're headlights. So I said headlights ever since they taught me these details of the cars. My tutors taught me the certain details of cars. What's in the middle of the light? I call them vent. But my tutors correct me that it's a grill. So ever since my tutor, well, I forgot that it's a grill. So my mother reminded me that it's a grill. Those are examples of tutoring I experienced as a kid, from toddler age all the way to kindergarten age. Anyways, that's all I have for tonight. Drop a like on this video. If you have anything that you want to see me do on YouTube, feel free to do so. Leave a comment down below. And I will be getting a haircut soon, Saturday, August 31st. Again, when I was a little kid, due to my autism, I always like keeping things that are normal, like my hair. I don't like change. Like, for example, getting my hair cut is change, for example. But I overcame my autism, and I was never afraid to get a haircut ever since I overcame my autism. So it could be difficult for me to accept change once in a while. I'll give you an example and talk about my experience with my autism, dealing with change and dealing with haircuts when the day August 31st comes, when I go to the barber shop. And I will find out if it's a possibility for me to record my hair getting trimmed. Anyways, happy Tuesday, everyone, and have a good night.